Hey, it's Greg here with MaritimeGardening.com. Recently I did a video where I talked about just cleaning up a bed of kale where you've got some leaves that have been attacked by pests and you've dealt with the pest problem. Now you've got these plants that are recovering from that. You've got some leaves that are wrecked like this and other leaves that are just nice and fresh and green look like this. And actually the pests are still there. There's a little pest right there. Flea beetle just jumped away. That's the thing that flea beetles cause this kind of shotgun damage, right? Anyway, for the most part, it's not a problem anymore. So now the next step is to clean this bed up and put it in the best situation it can be in to be productive over the course of September and October. Where I live, September and October are really the last months of productivity in a garden. So all I'm doing is just for each plant, and I can just lay this stuff on the ground, doesn't matter. I'm going to put leaves on top of all of this. But for each plant, I'm removing the damaged foliage. It's a quick operation, doesn't need to take a long time. Okay, you can leave a couple leaves that are damaged, that's okay. Like this big one here, zoom in a little bit. You can see it's got a little bit of damage, and it probably isn't one we'll harvest for eating, but it's gathering so much energy from the sun, I'm inclined to leave it out because it's going to help the plant grow. Alright, so I'm going to pull all these leaves and do all the weeds, and then I'm going to mulch it. So we're just going to speed the whole thing up, and you're going to see how it goes. This does not take long if you really get your back into it. Alright, so let's go. All that shredded up stuff is gone for the most part. We've got some nice leaves there to hold the moisture in, right? And I know I didn't bother watering it before I put the leaves on. I'm going to water it now. It just helps to hold the leaves down. As I've shown in videos before, for people in windy areas, and where I live it's a windy area, you just lay sticks, branches of trees, anything you can find, just lay things across the leaves to hold them down, and that will hold most of them. Some will blow, but if you just lay sticks or branches or basically anything, doesn't have to be much, across the leaves, it will hold them down. But we had a really good rain just the other day, so even though the soil looked dry, it's just still, you know, these are mature plants with deep roots. They don't look that big. That's because all the foliage has been removed before they were even replanted. These plants came from another bed. They were probably almost a 1.5 feet high, but just destroyed with flea beetles. And so we removed the tallest leaves and left sort of medium-sized leaves when they were replanted. And then they've spent a couple weeks recovering now. And I fully expect in a few more weeks these kale are going to be looking really good. Anyway, so it's September, and we tend to think of September as a time of winding things down in a garden for a lot of people, but for some plants it's actually a time to wind things up and have one more kick at the can at getting some more productivity out of the garden. This was a garlic bed. I harvested the garlic around the end of July, early August, and then I took some kale that I thinned from another bed, transplanted them here. They were good sized kale at the time, but they were riddled with pest damage, and I've dealt with that for the most part. There's still a few flea beetles around, but they're just getting better every week sort of thing. They're just so much healthier and so much happier. So I fully anticipate a really good harvest out of these in a few weeks. I hope you found this interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com. Check out my weekly article at maritimegardening.substack.com. Until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.